Hi there, YouTube. Okay, so I hope everybody viewing this video has been well. I hope you've been prosperous and healthy and safe and happy. I wanted to make this video about soulmates. The concept, the ideology, the theory, the whatever, belief of soulmates. Because it's something I hold near and dear to my heart. And here's the thing, I should move this right here. I don't rule out the idea that that is a possibility, that that can be a thing for some people. I actually personally really do believe in soulmates. I don't like to admit it to myself that I do because I don't want to, or at least I don't like to admit that I think I have a soulmate. Just because, like, I don't know, I'm great on my own. I enjoy my own company. I really love, like, being solitary, and I also just don't want to get my hopes up, if that makes sense. But to believe in soulmates, you have to believe in reincarnation. And it's beautiful. The idea of soulmates is just beautiful. I mean, you travel from lifetime to lifetime, loving each other in different forms and different scenarios and different situations and different hardships and different obstacles. And you know, it is beautiful, the idea, but it also can be kind of torturous if you think about it. Because there's so many different theories of maybe in this life you are meant to be your soulmate's friend. Maybe in this life you're meant to be your soulmate's whatever. Like, there's so many different possibilities and scenarios behind, like, I guess the journey you guys are supposed to endure. But I regardless of that, it's such a intimate and romantic and sweet concept. You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful. I will say, I have to say this, I have not, like, up until I was probably 18 years old, I did not believe, I didn't even know, I didn't really think too much in the idea of a soulmate, and me having a soulmate and soulmates in general. I never thought of that. I honestly never really even thought too much into relationships. I just knew that, like, in my head, I had thought that there was going to be a fairy tale love, and, you know, relationships can be that. And boy, howdy, was I in for a rude awakening. Because my first relationship was, I was cheated on. So, I mean, that's like a harsh reality. So, but that's not to say you know, the idea of a fairy tale love or certain fairy tale moments in a relationship can't exist. But so yeah, I up until I was 18, I had no idea. I wasn't even thinking of that, like, that idea, that concept. That didn't even cross my mind. Soulmates never really even became a thing. Until I met this one woman who, her and I grew really close through my cousin, and she was a self-proclaimed psychic. She could see spirit guides. She was very spot on with some of the stuff she would read from people. You know, and the idea of spirit guides, and around this time I was, you know, delving into the spirituality umbrella, I guess, the vast array of different spiritualities and concepts and whatnot. But she had explained to me that I had a soulmate, and that this life was a test. You know, and from then on, the idea of that, the thought of that was just rampant. Like, I'm just like, oh my goodness. So that makes so much sense. I have, you know, a soulmate waiting for me, you know, and blah, blah, blah. She actually gave me a time, not so much a place, but a time of when I would meet him, an age. And yeah, so, and this was before my longest relationship. And basically after that, okay, well, you know, not taking it at face value, but also not dismissing the idea of, oh, well, I have a soulmate, you know, that I'm set to encounter. And then I was in a relationship, very long, well, not very long, but my longest relationship ever. The idea of him being my soulmate came across my mind, you know, and the harsh reality came about. He cheated on me, and that is what it is. Now he is deceased. Rest in peace. We were at such a young time in our lives. I think I was 18, and he was too. So it was just such a young era. There was a lot of mistakes I had made. There's a lot of stuff that we had been through that was just rough. But anyway, I say all that to say, after that, after, you know, that relationship, and after that idea of a soulmate came into my head, I was looking at my romantic interests like, oh my goodness, you know, could he be the one? Could this be? And how she explained to me, and how all the research I've done, you know, on this subject, is when you find your soulmate, you know it. You know it every inch, you know, every fiber of your being, every inch of your body, every bone of your body, like, you know it. So you're not left guessing. The both of you, two parties, know it. It just clicks. And it may not be, oh, this is my soulmate, but you just have that bond that's so unquestionable. But yeah, so fast forward to now, this time in my life, I have no desire to be in a relationship at all. And I kind of put that idea of a soulmate on the back burner of my mind, because I just don't want to focus on that. I want to focus on, you know, me surviving me in my, you know, career, and doing what I do, and being able to provide for myself. Like, that's what I want to focus on. And the main purpose of this video, obviously soulmates. However, I've come to realize in any form, be it a book, an audiobook, a show, a movie, any form of, I guess, entertainment, in which the subject matter of soulmates is prominent, I can't help myself but just sob. There's a show called, it's on Netflix, it's called, I've spoken about it before, Eternal Love, I think. Yeah, Eternal Love. Like I said in my previous video, I have to take it in increments. I have to watch it, like, maybe a few episodes. Granted, excuse me, they are around, probably, like, I think 45 minutes to an hour long episodes. But despite the length of them, it's just, I bawl. I can't help but just sob. When it comes to soulmates, when it comes to the idea, when it comes to, you know, the implication of a relationship being that, you know, oh, we've done this before, you know, and it just makes me so emotional. So Eternal Love, I sob, absolutely. I just cry. I have to bawl. And like I said, I take it in increments. I have to, like, watch a few episodes, take a break, come back, and I just blubber like a baby. Memoirs of a Geisha, my absolute favorite movie of all time. Not so much depicts soulmate love, like, oh, we've been in lifetimes upon lifetimes together, but just depicts love in a very, you know, lifelong kind of way. Like, the two parties known each other since, excuse me, one was a child, you know, she grew up, she endured life, all this stuff, and they finally eventually come together in the end. If you haven't seen Memoirs of a Geisha, I'm very sorry for ruining it for you. But that is my all-time favorite movie, and again, there's certain parts in it that I just can't help but cry. And it's an ugly cry, okay? It is not a pretty cry. And yeah, what else? There's a new audiobook, a new book, but I've been listening to the audiobook of one of my favorite YouTubers that I've encountered long time ago. I first discovered her, and she wrote a book that I had not been able to read because she lives out of the country. I hadn't ordered it. Recently I've been thinking about ordering it though, but I really want to. But she just recently uploaded her audiobook to that, and I cannot help but just sob and sob and sob. Like, it's just so beautiful. In fact, it's such a beautiful story that I kind of want the title tattooed on me. So it's just so beautiful and lovely. So yeah, the concept of soulmates is beautiful to me. Can't help but just cry whenever I hear about that. There's YouTube videos of people, like couples, explaining why they believe they're soulmates, you know, and I watch those at times, and it's just beautiful. So despite me not wanting a relationship, despite all of that, me basically swearing off men to some degree and being like, nope, and having months and months and years of just like, not unresolved trauma, but just stuff that I endured that I still remember, I can't help but think, you know, and just hope and wish. But I think us as humans, we all do that. Like, we all are hopeful that our person will come along, you know? And I don't like admitting that. I want to be like, no, I'm fine on my own. I'm good. You know, if this is how it's going to be years down the line when I grow older, like, and I'm on my own and I'm still solitary, I'll be okay, which I know I will be. But again, it's just like we want that counterpart. And it's just so fascinating and interesting, and I don't know. And it's so crazy how much it ties into spirituality, you know, and it's a spiritual concept, but it also, you know, has to do with the belief and philosophy of reincarnation. And that's fascinating in and of itself. So yeah, anyways, that's the main purpose of this video. I want to know, do you believe in soulmates? Write in the comments down below if you do or if you don't. If you do, why? If you don't, why not? And what are your ideas of love? How do you view love? How do you view fairy tale love? How do you view, you know, just unconditional love in general? But the reason why I wanted to make this video is because recently I've just been listening to that audiobook, like specifically at night, while I'm in bed. I just turn it on, listen to it, and it's just, there's certain increments where I just cry. And it's kind of good though. It's really good. It's like an emotional release almost. But yeah, soulmates are beautiful. Whether I encounter mine in this lifetime or not, I don't know. But it's just beautiful. So anyway, that's this video. I know it doesn't really, it's not very pointed, you know, but it just is, you know, my thoughts. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy, you know, spiritual, philosophical videos like this, you know, and just kind of what's on the top of my head at the time. And yeah, leave your comments below. If you have any video requests, feel free to ask. You will be hearing from me very soon. And I hope you have a wonderful day, night, evening, whatever, wherever it is you're at. And Yeah. Bye bye.